Buongiorno everyone, welcome to another transfer type special video. I think a January issue. This one's
issue 3.
Issue 3. Hashtag 3 witches coming next. Contracts is the issue right now. New contracts. Keep or sell, really, I guess, January 2021. Players that are in the last 6 months of their contracts at Newcastle United. So I'll quickly list off the players that we're going to talk about and then we'll go in order. Ciaran Clark, Jacob Murphy, Dwight Gayle, Federico Fernandez, Andy Carroll, Fabian Schar and DeAndre Yedlin are all into the last 6 months of their contract. All free to talk to other clubs now, with it being January. So it allows other clubs to strike deals with the player and with their agents. Talks are underway with several of those players about extensions, but Newcastle United remain relaxed on the issue. Shock. Not asked about getting anything sorted. In no rush to do anything, as always. I'll start off with Ciaran Clark. I think we've definitely got to sign up Ciaran Clark on new contract, whether even if it's just a year or two. Clark, the thing is with me, he's been linked with Crystal Palace heavily. You can see him going to a club like that, but he's shown how important he is, how reliable he is, how you can call upon him any week, every week. Mm-hmm. And he's really underrated. And
yeah, he is.
He's an unsung hero for Newcastle. Bruce said the other week he got that brand at him in the press conference. Bruce said, well, he's not an unsung hero to me. Well, you kind of think he is, Bruce, because you don't play him every week, do you, until someone gets injured.
That's the thing,
you know what I mean? And then obviously in the comments, a lot of people have been saying, you know, when Lascelles is fit, don't bring him back because Clark and that's better. So,
yeah, well, I think he's one of the ones already underway, and I think, like Bruce did say, like they are in talks with that. So, yeah, good job. Like, he is so reliable. Like, it is strange getting him into the team because, especially when Dummett's fit and Lejeune's there, we've got 6 centre backs.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to play a flat back 4, you can only play 2 of them. Like, who is our best centre backs? Like, Clark's one of the more reliable ones. When you put him in, he rarely disappoints. You could say the same with Fernandez. Lascelles is pretty much cemented in the team when he's fit because he's captain, not because he deserves it, just because he's captain. He's very inconsistent, sometimes very frustrating. Shaw's had a bit of a shit time over the last couple of good performances. Lejeune's too injury prone when he's here, same with Paul Dummett. So I think we should sign him. He's a good signing. He's very, very underrated. Like, people actually forget about him. Like we did the thing with the Man United fans a couple of weeks ago, and like they were like, "Fucking hell, he's still at your team." Completely forgot he was even in the squad, which is even mental.
When we signed him from Villa, it was one of them where it was just like,
yeah.
And he's a bit of a journeyman, but he'd been around the block for a while. But again, like every week, he's so reliable, and he can chip in with a goal. He just offers a lot. He's what you'd want and ask if you're centre back, really.
Yeah, like on paper, he's not really one that stands out. Going, oh, he's a good player. Like he's one of the ones that was signed in the Championship. It was when we got relegated. It was a very good signing for
Grant
the Championship.
Hanley.
Yeah, like them kind of players. Like I thought he was that kind of player, like Grant Hanley. Good player for the Championship. He'll get promoted. Yeah,
he was solid to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was a great Championship signing. Not Bruce. He wouldn't have done that. Right, Rafa made loads of good signings when we got relegated to get us back up. I knew we would get back up with that kind of team, but the problem was how long will that last when we get promoted? How many of these players are for the future? Who's going to keep in the Premier League? And so far, so good. We haven't been relegated in 4 years, so we're doing all right. But yeah, Clark was one of them where I thought, nah, he's not one for the future. He's one of them that you'll see in a squad list and you'll not stand out. You'll not take any fucking notice of Ciaran Clark's name. But he is so reliable. He's so underrated. And whoever he plays for, if he goes to a Crystal Palace, like we could maybe ask a Crystal Palace fan right now, would you take Ciaran Clark? They'd probably say no. But if he went there within a year or two, they'd be like,
regular.
I fucking like Ciaran Clark. You know what I mean? Like he's that kind of player. Like he's proper under the radar, but he's reliable. He's solid. He does the job, scores goals. He can convert to a left back as well if you need him to.
Exactly,
he's done that a couple of times. So yeah, great player, and I'd quite happily keep him.
He has a really I think it's really tough, and then jump in Jacob Murphy because he's been on the fringes ever since he signed for Newcastle. He's shown glimpses of what he can do, especially this season, to be fair. But this is the danger. This is the danger when you give players new contracts based on a few months.
Yeah.
And then he's settled now. He thinks, right, there's my wage sort of next 5 years. I can buy another mansion. There's the mortgage paid off. Couple more cars. And I'm not trying to insinuate that that's what Murphy's about or that's the football stereotype, but will the desire be there once he's got that new contract? That's the worry week in, week out. And I think Murphy loves it. He loves the tune. He's obviously pictured Newcastle kids as a young'un. He does grasp his chance when he gets a chance. In the Cups this season, he's been amazing, although against lower league opposition. Obviously, Wolves, he scored the late equaliser, great free kick, great cross to Gayle off the bench just the other week against West Brom. So he can do both. He can score a goal, he can grab an assist, cause defenders problems with his pace. I think he's a good enough squad player, and for that reason, I'd give him a new deal. Yeah,
I'd like to see him stick around. Can we do better than him? Well, under this regime, probably not. But like, if we had a bit more ambition, can we do better than him? You'd probably say yeah. But yeah, he is a good player. He's a grafter. He really tries. I always thought that about him. Like before he had his loan spells, like when he first came, like he never really stood out. I think people were frustrated by him. They wanted to get rid of him pretty much as soon as they signed him. But I thought like he tries. He's all right on the ball. Like, he tries to stick in a few crosses, have a few shots. Like that's all we're really asking for at the minute. A player that tries. Now I always thought Murphy was a trier, but is he good enough? Is the quality there? I didn't think he was. He had a decent loan spell, but when he came back, I was hoping he was going to get a chance because I'd like him to get more of an effort than like more of a chance than what Atsu and Aaron's are. Like I thought he was better than Atsu, and what I like about him is he is a Geordie at heart. Like we should be treating him like one of the Longstaff brothers because he's London born, but to a Geordie dad, and him and his twin grew up as Newcastle fans. So, like, we should be treating him like a Geordie. We should want him to do well. We should want him to stay in the team. But more than that, this season he actually has been performing. I think he's been rejuvenated since being converted into a right wing back. But yeah, like he tries, and we can see the quality that he has. We just wish we'd seen it a bit more in that assist for Dwight Gayle against West Brom.
Yeah,
he's got that in the locker.
Why can't you produce that?
Yeah, he is
like a Shelby type thing, isn't it?
Aye, it is, isn't it? Like But I think that he just trial it. So he's got that in his locker. We don't see it as much. But would you say he puts more effort in than John Joe Shelby?
Yeah, 100%.
I would say he fucking does. Like he likes what I'm saying. Like he tries. Like he may not have the quality, but he's a grafter and he does try his best. So I'd rather have someone like him in the team. Certainly over Atsu. Certainly over Aaron's. Yeah, he's one of them in the team that I think tries. And even when you play him in unfamiliar roles like wing back, he steps up.
He's not a starter for me really most weeks, but against West Brom off the bench, that's what he can offer. So it's a good option to have off the bench.
Like when Fraser and Saint-Maximin are fit and Almiron's firing.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's not getting that starting lineup unless Brucey plays him as a wing back. But for a squad player, absolutely. Yeah.
I think what you can say as well is a good thing about Bruce's is that he's shown belief in Jacob Murphy, and Murphy's repaid that.
Yeah.
We all know that a good quality of Bruce's is his man management. He's the Brucey Bear hugs, they make you feel good about yourself kind of thing. We know he's not good technically, tactically or anything, but as a man manager, he seems pretty decent. And that's one of the things you can get out of Murphy, whereas Murphy under Rafa knew he wasn't wanted.
Yeah.
Knew he wasn't fitting into his plans, whereas Bruce is obviously gives him the pat on the back and feeds him a Jaffa cake lets him know that he's loved.
Yeah, well, what I like about what's happened there is like Brucey's given him a chance because I think the easier thing to do would be to stick with Atsu. Yeah. Like the same team that he pretty much had last season. Atsu was in the 25-man squad while Murphy was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. There was a lot of rumours about him leaving in the summer. It looked likely, but like I was pleased to see him given a chance. Like he was named in the 25-man and Atsu wasn't. I thought that was potentially risky, but a good move, and I'm pleased Bruce did that. Kind of showed that a bit of bollocks because, like I say, the easy thing to do would be either to sell or loan Murphy again and just stick with Atsu.
Yeah. Dwight Gayle is a really interesting one, to be honest, because
it is.
The age is what's getting me about Dwight Gayle.
How old is he?
He's 31 or something.
Is he? Fucking hell.
But again, who did Murphy assist with that cross we've just talked about against West Brom? Again, who came off the bench and got that winner? Again, when he's fit and running, he is a bit of a goal scorer. He's 30. He's 30. 31 in October, so he's 30. So...
Yeah, he's got the quality. He's
past the best of it. And do you give Dwight Gayle another 40, 50 grand a week for another couple of years? At this point, no. I don't think you do, to be honest. No. Like, I think it's time. And to be fair, it's just broke the last hour or so how Fulham are reigniting their interest. And you'd be daft not to if you were the likes of Fulham, if you're fighting relegation, which Newcastle aren't high and dry, aren't miles away from it.
Yeah.
But if you're right in the thick of it, surely Sheffield United, Fulham, West Brom are all going to be looking at who can I get right now. Decent money, going to guarantee goals. Dwight Gayle's probably at the top of that list.
Yeah.
6 months left his contract. Give Newcastle a couple of £1 million. That couple of £1 million, Gale scores 5 to 10 goals, keeps you in the division. You've won £100 million. It's a no-lose situation.
Yeah.
Completely makes sense. Also on the other end of the scale, whereas if you're Norwich, Swansea, Bournemouth, one of those teams trying to come up, you buy Dwight Gayle in January, it's probably going to get you promoted in the next 6 months.
Like you did with West Brom.
Yeah, exactly like you did with West Brom last year, right? Yeah. So Gayle, he's an elite championship player. Even this year, he's proven he can do it in the Premier League. He scored some good goals.
At the end of lockdown,
he scored against Liverpool and that after lockdown. So he still has it at this level, but I think just in terms of wage, we've got to be careful with wages, and we've got to be careful with long-term contracts. I just don't see much sense in it right now, to be honest. Like, although he is a good squad player as well to have, but it depends. I mean, if you can't get him on like a 2-year deal, maybe, but I don't know. I think it'd be probably best for both parties if he moved on.
Mm-hmm. I think a big thing that we mentioned in the last video is like January now. Like we've got a full 25-man squad. We need to free up space. That's a major thing. Like we're looking at players to bring in. We want to improve the squad, but you can't if the squad's full.
Exactly.
Like there's rules against this shit.
Rules.
Like, there's a player cap. You need to make way for new bodies to come in. So I think with quite a few of these here, the thing to look at is cash in on them now and like stop them going for free in a few months' time, even if you get next to nothing, 1 million, 2 million, whatever it is. It's better to cash in on them now instead of letting them go for free. And then when they've gone in the next few weeks before the end of the month, we've got availability to bring in some players. So the likes of Yedlin and I think Gayle maybe is one. Like we've got options there, and particularly Wilson. He's never going to beat Wilson to a starting lineup, but Joe Linton's been favoured over him lately. And we've got Carroll, who's just got his first goal there. So, like in terms of freeing up space in the squad, if a championship team wants him, you'll be an amazing signing for a championship team. And he did well for them, and I'd wish him luck because he's been a good player for Newcastle over the years. Like,
definitely.
He can do a job, but can he do it for the next 3 years? Probably not.
Unbelievable in the championship for us. Unbelievable in the championship for anyone, like I said. And Scott Parker trying to get the old Mitchell-Gayle partnership gone back at Craven Cottage.
Throw back.
Federico Fernandez, Iron Man, one of our best centre-backs, surely captained the side against Leicester just a few days ago. He's 31 years old now, going to turn 32 next month, actually in February, 21st of February for Fernandez. Obviously another one, few months left at Newcastle. Yes or no to giving Feddy a new deal?
Sign him up.
Sign him up.
Not a long one, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
3's maybe is a bit of a stretch.
That's a tricky thing with this now, because agents and players will obviously be pushing for that, because they'll be looking for one last deal now. If you're on the wrong side of 30, you want one last deal, one last package. You want one last good package.
Secure the package.
What they call package. He wants one good package to sort his family out, sort everything out, sort him out for the rest of his life, really. So that's where you try and strike the balance. But you give him, I think a 2-year deal would be perfect. Really, you've got to keep Fernandez. Yeah, what he offers.
Fucking brick shit. I was like, we were talking about Gayle Clark before. He's reliable. Throw him in, does the job. Fernandez is like the epitome of that. He's a fucking. He's a top quality act. And he was another one when we signed him. I was actually a little bit pissed off by it. Like I didn't want him. I think we spent about 7 million on him. He's been in the Premier League for 2-3 years prior with Swansea. Never stood out. I never really took much note of him. Obviously got relegated with Swansea. And I was like, we're really just signed fucking Federico Fernandez.
Typical Ashley saying, and now we get excited about
in that. Like, but to be fair, like he's been an absolute brick shit house. Top quality. Being the captain for the last few weeks, and I showed a bit of captain quality in telling Shelby and Longstaff off for not getting back earlier for that second goal against Leicester. Yeah, I'll definitely sign him up. But like you say, almost 31 and almost 32.
Right,
it's almost 32. Yeah,
February.
You kind of exactly expect like 5-year deal on now. So there's got to be some leverage there. Maybe he's 3 years at best, absolute max. But I think 2 years is comfortable.
Aye. Another one. I think we're on to him next in my list. It is Andy Carroll, who actually turns 32 years old tomorrow.
Ooh,
6th of January.
I feel so old.
Nah. 6th of January. 6th of January for Andy Carroll, 31 now, 32 on the 6th, and scored his first Newcastle goal in 10 years against Leicester. Yes, he did. 85 quid. But obviously the first goal in a year and a bit since rejoining Newcastle. First goal in nearly 3 years since scoring for West Ham in April 2018. But he is a nuisance. He is an option off the bench. He is a plan B. You know, he's a Geordie. He's a weapon in the arsenal. He's a Geordie. He's a local man. But is it too much now? Is it too far down the lane for Andy Carroll? Link with West Brom, Big Sam, and that would totally make sense. You could see Sam Allardyce.
I love it up long.
I love that.
Feeling that'll be calling up Peter Crouch. How are you, Peter? Get into retirement, son. Fuck BT. Come to Big Sam. Yeah, I think that would maybe be a good move for Andy Carroll. I think he enjoys being up here. Like we say, he's a Geordie. I think he loves every minute that he steps onto the pitch, not just for his player bonus. But yeah, that is a tough one. I think we're probably not going to offer him another contract. When we first signed him, it was only a 1 year with an option for a second. For how many minutes he played, for how injury prone he was, as expected. I don't think we really expected to offer him that second year, but we did, and I was happy enough for that. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see him score a goal at St James's. He's done that now, but come the end of this year, he's out of contract again. We'll be offering him a third year, going into him being 33 next season. It's unlikely. Not if we're trying to sign some new players. I think it'd be a great signing for Big Sam. Just the pump it up long. If Big Sam's going to offer him like a 2-year contract, then I think for him personally, for his well-being, for his family, that would make more sense for him. So he'll be out of contract in the summer. We'll probably not offer him a new one. So yeah, if Big Sam's going to offer him 2 years, 3 years, get yourself away, Andy. Get paid.
I'm glad he scored. Glad he did score in his second coming at the tune. I'm gutted there was obviously no fans there. It'd be unreal if he does stay till the summer and then he does score when fans may come back in May. Probably not anyway, to be fair. But we're saying that, it was only a few weeks ago 2,000 fans were allowed back, and now we're in another lockdown. So who knows what's going to happen.
When do you remember that?
But Andy, I think, like I said, he is a useful, really useful option, but we all know it's the concerns over fitness and now his age and getting any younger.
So certainly not.
I think it's time to move on. Sorry, Andy.
Unfortunately.
Thanks for liking the Instagram post, though. The tweet, actually. Thanks for liking the tweet, Andy. Fabian Schar. 3rd year of his 3-year contract with Newcastle. He's in the last few months of his deal. He's still on the right side of 30. 29 years old. I just turned 29 as well. 2 weeks ago, 20th of December. So still some years left in Shaw. He's certainly not the player that was at Newcastle in his first year at the Tomb when he was player of the year. Scoring goals, solid as you like. But last week or so, he's been a lot better and he's comfortable back five. His confidence seems to be coming up, seems to be getting back to himself a little bit. But it's one of them when we're linked with other centre-backs and we've got Lejeune to come back from Spain. Shaw's is an awkward one for me.
It is, yeah. That is sticky. Because, yeah, like we know the quality he's got. Like in his first season, Jesus, he was unbelievable. Rightly so, player of the year. But, yeah, like it's just way too inconsistent. Like we haven't seen the player that he can be in almost 2 years. Last season especially. But, yeah, the last couple of games, particularly the Liverpool game, he was unbelievable. It was just frustrating. Like we know that quality is there. I think maybe, was it the January after he signed or the year afterwards, he was linked with like a 20-25 million move to Man City.
Yeah.
Like, probably would have been a good thing to take that now. Like at the time, we couldn't afford to lose him. But now to get rid of him, to free up some space in the squad for a potential future, maybe it's a Fikayo Tomori, might make sense. Yeah.
I mean, if you go through the centre-backs, right, I mean, would Fernandez, if you had an option, you've got to pick Schar or Fernandez, who are you picking?
Fernandez.
Got to pick Schar or Clark, who are you picking?
Clark.
Got to pick Schar or Lascelles, who are you picking? It's hard, isn't it? But
that is a tough one, but the club would pick Lascelles.
Yeah, the club captain
yeah.
English. So just going off that, 2 out of 3 at least, even like you said, Clark and Fernandez, I agree, I'd rather have them in the club than Schar. Says I need to know, bring in someone else for me. Bring Lejeune back. If Lejeune's fit, get him back in. If not, go for the likes of Tomori or
try and get someone good. Like there's quite a few. Say who gets relegated. There's a few decent players. Say Aston Villa's got a few decent centre backs at the minute.
I really wanted Villa to go down last year because I wanted Mings and Grealish. McGinn even was linked. I'd take McGinn.
Yeah, I like their players. Is it Horse? He's a good player.
Konza's good.
Yeah, like they're really good players.
And last but not least, DeAndre Yedlin. He's 27, so he's still got plenty of time on his hands. Linked with going to Turkey, linked with going back to America. We touched on it in the video before there with the signings, who's going to come in or who's going out, was it? But Yedlin, I just think now is the time. I mean, massively wanting him to leave 6 months ago, a year ago, like after lockdown, before lockdown, before last season started. Yedlin has been okay. He's been good at times, especially championship season and that. And he was really, really good against Liverpool the other week. But for now, we've got a couple of right backs at the club. I'd like to see we bring in someone else, and like you obviously said, Tavernier and the other one. Something that would be an ideal big money spend at right back. Yedlin just doesn't quite cut it for me every week. Yeah. I just think I fell out of fancy with Yedlin, to be fair. Like, the effort that he put in after lockdown was a disgrace. Mm-hmm. He's upped it. Is it because he wants a new contract? Who knows? I think it just suits him to just move on now. I think if he goes back to America, he goes to Turkey, it suits us and it suits him. I cannot see the point in giving Yedlin a new contract. Yeah,
I agree. I think he'd be a world beater in the MLS, and they would probably love him as well. Like, he's a big American bits in the English Premier League. Like, he'd probably go back a hero over there.
Come back to Seattle Sounders.
It is a really tough one because he's served the club well. He was my first choice right back for a good 2-3 years prior to becoming shit. Like post lockdown, abysmal. I wanted him out of the club in the summer. He was heavily linked with Besiktas, a couple of others. I really wanted him gone. I didn't want to ever see him in the squad. Every time he was even when he played against like Morecambe and that, we're thinking fucking Yedlin.
And he was shit against them.
I know he was. Like, I think the Morecambe game he was a bit better.
One of them he was shit.
Yeah, I think he played against Blackburn. He was gash against Blackburn. I think he played against Newport now. I think the one of them he was pretty good in, but that's League Two teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the last two games, Liverpool especially, it's probably the best he's ever been. like even like defensively, like even back in the Championship when he first came through, he was great at getting forward, but defensively he was always gash. Against Liverpool, best we've ever seen him defensively, getting forward, fucking everything, the full package. It's fucking unbelievable. But can you give someone a contract after one game?
No. Like, it's not Santiago Munez.
Exactly. And he was good the other day as well. Leicester, he was all right. It was an improvement on what we've getting used to. But yeah, it probably is time for him to go. Like, he's been here for a good 5-6 years. We've got Gayle. Why do we keep saying Gayle? We've got Crafton, Manquillo, Murphy as well. Potential for new bodies. I would say we need to free up some space to get some new ones in. Well, James Tavernier might be an unrealistic signing because he's smashing it at Rangers. Getting anyone better, because there is better players out there. You can't just say like, "Oh, I want to keep Yedlin," because like it's blocking the chance of getting someone better in. Like I say,
like staying in an unhealthy relationship, innit?
Yeah, like
staying with a girlfriend you want to be with.
Like there's 25 players in the squad. You need to get rid of one of them to get someone else in. Something's got to give. And if Yedlin can go and have a good career in the MLS or Turkey, great, go for it. Like we need that space. So if you want to make room, then tenner.
Ta-ra, Yedlin. Ta-ra, anyone else? Well, I think that's everyone we've covered there who's in the last 6 months of their Newcastle contract. Again, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Should they stay? Should they go? Should they go now?
You should probably all go, to be honest.
Probably. I mean, who else? even Clonton Fernandez, bringing the new ins.
Yeah.
But they'll do. Let me know, comments below, subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV, and enjoy yourself.